everybody, my name is Janae Alexander and welcome to another Wellness Wednesday here on Strut Majorette Dance Fitness, where we talk about tips for a happier, healthier, I don't know what's going on with my words, a happier, healthier life. Today the topic is your body and we are chatting all about food guilt. Okay, so food guilt is exactly what it sounds like. It's when you feel guilty for eating. And there could be a lot of reasons for that, which we will dig into. But what I find really ironic is that food is nothing. It has nothing to do with guilt. It has nothing to do with shame. It is actually here to both nourish us and bring us pleasure and bring us joy. And so food guilt is one of those things that just steals your joy, and we are not about that life. The first time that I experienced food guilt was on a spiritual fast. I used to do spiritual fasts. I don't do them anymore. And they are supposed to help you become more in touch with your soul and more in touch with the creator and things like that. But it never worked that way for me. I always just ended up feeling really guilty, either for eating or eating certain things. And I always felt like I was spiritually weak. And some people would say, oh yeah, that's why you're on the fast, is to strengthen that muscle. And it never did. It never got stronger. It only made me feel like, oh, you're a bad believer. You're a bad faith-led person. And that is the danger of food guilt, right? Not only can it lead to dangerous eating disorders, it can actually lead to poor self-esteem and it damages your confidence. That's what food guilt can do to you. So that's why I thought this was a really important topic that we can tackle together and give you guys 4 major tips to help you get rid of it. So tip number 1, confront your guilt. Go ahead and get a journal or a notepad or just open up a Word document on your computer, and I want you to ask yourself, when do I experience food guilt? Is it a certain time of day? Is it in a certain place? Is it at a certain occasion? Is it when you're with a certain person? When do you experience that guilt? And then once you discover the moments that you have the guilt, ask yourself, why am I experiencing the guilt? For some of you, your win might be, anytime I eat, I experience guilt. If that's the case, then you definitely need to seek professional help. But if that's not the case, then you want to say, well, why do I feel guilty? Is it because of what I'm eating? Is it because of the amount of food that I'm eating? Is it because the time of day? So is it like a midnight snack and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this, or whatever the situation might be? Is it you're worried about what someone else is going to have to say about what you're eating? Like, why do you feel guilty at those times that you identified? And this is important because when you understand when and why you have the guilt, then you're better able to identify the triggers to that guilt. So maybe if you understand being around this person makes me feel guilty about eating food, you can reduce or eliminate the time that you spend around that person. So by identifying those triggers, you can better manage your food guilt. Tip number 2 is to consider your food without judgment. This is all about reframing your thinking and how you think about food. This is really important for lots of reasons, but the thing that we do is we say there's good food and there's bad food. There's no good or bad food. It is literally neutral. It has no character. It has no, sentience. It can be savory. It could be salty. It could be sour. It could be nourishing or non-nourishing, but it is not good or bad. The reason why you want to reframe your thinking when it comes to this in food is because we don't just associate the goodness or the badness with the food. We associate it with ourselves. So in diet culture, there's these polar ideas, right? There's the elitist idea of, if I eat organic and if I eat vegan, or whatever the diet is, then I'm doing good, I'm good. And we start to associate those things with ourselves. Like, I'm better because I don't eat meat, or I'm better because I don't eat food, animal byproducts, or whatever the situation is. And we start to feel ourselves like, yeah, I'm good. What you eat does not dictate you being a good person. It's literally just a lifestyle decision. On the opposite end, we think, I can't afford organic, so I'm not eating good, I'm not doing good, I'm poisoning myself. Like, we have all these negative thoughts going on in our mind because we have told ourselves that this bad food is, a decision that we are making on purpose, and it is making ourselves bad. And so you are not good or bad based on the food that you eat. Food does not dictate your character. Food does not dictate your value. And that's why it's really important to reframe your thinking and say that food is neither good or bad. It's neutral. Sure, it could be nourishing for you, or it could not be nourishing for you. That part is true, but it's not good or bad, and you are not good or bad when it comes to your food. Tip number 3 that I have for you is to remove your food rules and replace them with guidelines. This is really cool because, contrary to popular belief, all foods can be a part of a healthy diet. I'm going to say that again. All foods can be a part of a healthy diet. Now, I'm not talking about anyone who has food restrictions, that might take them out of life. I'm not talking about allergies. I'm not talking about that stuff. I'm just talking about, in general, you can enjoy any kind of food as long as it is in balance, okay? Balance is what health is all about. Have you ever heard of the phrase, too much of a good thing is a bad thing? The same thing applies to food. But for whatever reason, we tell ourselves, I can only have good food, good food. There's that characterization of food again. I can only eat this food that's good for me. If I eat this food that is not nourishing, then, I'm breaking my diet, and then I feel guilty, and then I'm crying, and I'm binge eating, and I'm emotionally eating, and then I'm a wreck. No, we're going to let go of all that, and we're just going to say, you know what? I'm going to reduce the amount of non-nourishing foods, or whatever the food is that you kind of go crazy over, and I'm going to create a guideline that helps me enjoy it at a certain time. So what does that look like? It looks like creating space for mindful indulgence. For me, I don't buy cake. The reason I don't buy cake and I don't bring it into my home is because I love it so much, especially if it's store-bought cake. I feel like that's the best, honestly. I don't know, a lot of people like homemade cakes. I love store-bought cake the most. So does my sister. But if I were to just buy it all the time, I'd eat the whole cake by myself because it's so freaking delicious, especially when it's cold. So to reduce the amount of cake that I'm eating, I created a guideline that says, you know what? You can enjoy cake when it's someone's birthday or when it's a celebration. Those are literally the only times I eat cake. And when I am celebrating, it doesn't matter how many pieces I have, because it's a celebration and this is the only time I've had cake, and who knows how long. Like, how many birthday parties do you go to often? And how many times do they actually serve cake as an adult? Like, now when you go to birthday parties, it's all about the liquor, and the birthday person might get like a cupcake, but no one else gets cake. Oh, heck no, okay? So if I'm celebrating, I'm eating cake. If we're out and we're, having dinner, I can order cake if we're celebrating, because that is my guide. And when I have that cake, it's so divine, it's so delicious, and it's probably even more delicious than if I was consuming it on a regular basis, because I only enjoy it at certain times. So guidelines help you to reduce the amount or the frequency of eating a certain food, but it allows you to maintain the joy of having it. Which brings us to our last tip number 4, which is getting to the root of the problem. Because you don't want to get rid of the joy. You don't want to eliminate joy and pleasure from eating food. So you want to get to the root of your guilt. So you've already journaled about when you have food guilt and why you have food guilt. Now you want to get underneath the why and uncover the goal and then dig under that goal. So you might say, okay, my goal is to lose weight. That's why I have food guilt. Like, that was my why, is I feel bad about eating because I'm trying to lose weight. That's the goal. I'm trying to lose weight. Okay, so let me challenge you and ask you, why do you want to lose weight? The answer might be something simple as, so I can look better in my clothes. So then I'm going to challenge you further and say, how can you look better in your clothes right now without losing weight? I know you're thinking, whoa, I want to lose weight. That is fine. I'm not trying to tell you this to eliminate your goal, and I'm not telling you that wanting to lose weight is a bad thing. There are no bad goals when it comes to your body. Like, your goal is your goal for whatever reason. The problem becomes when you have delayed the joy in the goal. It's very hard to accomplish that goal when you're not experiencing any satisfaction in the meantime. So if you say, I want to lose weight to look better in my clothes, guess what? They have body shapers out there that will help you look better in your clothes. Or maybe you want to buy the size that actually fits you instead of buying the size that you think you should be fitting in. Because let's be honest, sometimes when we go shopping, we buy clothes that we believe we should be fitting in, or that we used to fit and no longer do, and so it doesn't look its best on us. So how about we adapt what we're doing to accomplish our goal now and feel joy now while we are reaching towards that goal, right? You can look better in your clothes today, but you can do that and still strive to lose weight. The reason this is important is because you want to experience the joy in the now, which is one of the many reasons why I love Majorette Dance Fitness, is because it allows you to experience all the benefits in the now. You don't have to take a certain amount of classes to feel that rush and to feel that high after you dance, or even while you are dancing, you already feel the rush. You don't have to wait till you dance for 30 minutes. You could dance for 5 minutes and be happy. Like, there are so many awesome benefits to it, and it's all centered around joy. So I don't want you to delay the joy in whatever the goal you're having. You can experience that now, and that takes the pressure off. That's the whole point right there. Take the pressure off so that you can enjoy your food, so that you can enjoy your life. Because I guarantee when it comes to the day where you're going to transition out of here into the next phase of life, you're going to wish you had that cake. Okay? You're not going to be like, oh, I never lost the 30 pounds. No, you're going to be like, damn, I should have ate that cake, or I should have ate those chicken wings. They was fire and I didn't let myself have them. And what was the point? The whole point of life is joy. If you are struggling with food guilt, I'm going to go back to what I said in the beginning, get professional help. If these tips aren't as helpful as you need for wherever you are in your journey, then get help, because that's what help is here for, is to help you be successful. You don't have to will it out. You don't have to go cold turkey and just like make yourself get past it. There's help. There's help. Go get it. Make your life easier and go get help, especially if you have an eating disorder. That's not anything anyone should face alone, and you can overcome that so that you can be happier and healthier in your life. Have you ever experienced food guilt? Let me know in the comment section below. And if one of these tips was helpful in particular, let me know which one as well. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope that you take away the fact that food is here to nourish and also pleasure us. There is no guilt and there should be no shame when it comes to what you eat. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Janae Alexander, and I will see you on the next Wellness Wednesday. Bye.
Steph Curry with my eyes blurred. I don't never miss, I ain't never worried now. I hear everything to throw up. I be ballin'